The next one is how to reignite old passions or interests quickly after alcohol. This is one of the questions that this guy answered or asked. And again, not a simple answer to this one, and it's probably not going to like it. You know, if you think that you can do this, I don't think you can. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. I think one of the biggest reasons is that your life has moved on, regardless of what you do. I mean, I was drinking for over 30 years, so even to think about reigniting old passions or interests, never going to happen, you know what I mean? You know, there's so much about your life which changes. So much about your life that changes in a year, never mind in 10 years. By the way, if you can hear a fan here, it's because it's roasting hot. And I'm sorry about it. I mean, I really do want to have the fan a lot higher than it is, but I know there's going to be a lot of sound there, so hopefully you can't hear it too much. Yeah, life just moves on. I mean, and you know, some of the things that you used to do, it's very difficult to go back. You know, your thinking has changed. You know, a lot of you thinking about just the general thinking has changed. And think about what that means for everything in your life. You know, the context that you live your life has changed. Probably the I mean, I don't know how many moves I've made to different countries and different towns and cities, and you know, it's just not the same person. So just the way you view things, the way you view yourself, the way other people view you, imagine how that has changed over the years. Do you get what I mean? So the way you view other people, that's changed. The way you view other people's behavior. I remember I had a friend of mine years ago, and we were talking about this a couple of days ago, and he was my best mate in school. You know, we did everything together, and I met him probably about 10 years after I'd left. We moved away from Ireland. I went back to the UK with my brother, met my partner, then my wife, then, and Sean's mother, and Sean came along, and then we sort of, this guy got in contact with me just out of the blue one day, and met up with him, and I remember the guy hadn't changed at all, and it was such a put off. He seemed more childish, you know. I'd grown up a little bit, and I'd done all these things. He had 2 kids as well, so it was that's what amazed me. He was still trying to do the same things. He wasn't happy in his life. But it's amazing how, you know, your view of just other things, other people, other behaviors, what other people think, how that can change. You know, it can either mature or... I can't say that over 30 years of drinking that I matured in some areas. In some areas I did, because you have to. You know, you've got a kid to look after, you've got a family to look after, all those kind of things necessitates you getting out there and doing different things and being an adult in certain ways. But then you've got the other side of it, like the Jekyll and Hyde side. But like I said in the last one, it all takes hard work. On the other side of stopping the drinking alcohol provides that base that you're going to work from. You know, if you can't do that, then you're always going to have this liquid base. You know, it's probably a good metaphor for it. You're never stable. Do you know what I mean? Because you know, my one consistent thing throughout my whole journey through alcohol was 1 step forward, 2 steps back, and that's what it felt like. So that instability creates all kinds of problems. You know, so habit change does take hard work, and you know, other people are one of the biggest stumbling blocks after you stop. You know, these people can drive you crazy. You know, they want you to be, especially your old friends, want you to be your old self. because that's the way you fit in with their lives, with their picture. So, and sometimes, if you're trying to stop something like alcohol, there is no going back to that old life. There is no going back to that old self. So what are you going to do? Maybe there is no way of, even if it's something that you've done 10 years ago, maybe there is no way of reigniting those passions. Some things seem great in the moment, and then when you grow a bit or you do other things, when you're drinking, those two personalities are going to change. The personality you develop after you stop drinking alcohol, if you work on it, it's going to be a completely different personality to the person that you are when you're drinking. Your lights are going to be different. The people that you enjoy being with are going to be different. The behaviors that you enjoy participating in the way that you earn money, the way that you think, the way everything is going to change. It's one of the biggest fears that people don't want to become somebody else apart from who they are. They don't want to be a different person, but that's just the way it is sometimes. Habit change, it just involves a lot of frame changes, a lot of mindset shifts, a lot of growth in different areas. And with all this happening, sometimes you change beyond your old self. What used to be entertaining when you were drinking is now boring. So, going back to the original question, how do you reignite old interests and old passions? Do you really want to do that? Is the first question you should be asking yourself. And if it's something that you want to do, then it's going to take time. It's not something that you can do overnight, because of the changes that have happened in you. And, again, it's one of these things that once you get into the journey, you will start rethinking things. The assumptions and the expectations that you have in the beginning are not going to be the same things that you have in 6 months' time if you're doing the work on yourself. So I hope that makes sense.